So I created a new project called movie app. So we are going to emulate some sort of a movie application. The idea here is to keep learning more about compose layouts, compose functions, and so many other things that will help us get to where we want to get, which is to build modern, scalable, and clean applications. We are going to restructure everything. Let's go back to code for now. Let's create a composable function here to organize everything. Add composable, and then this is going to be fun my app as such. Okay, so this is my app here. I'm going to pass a content at composable here, and is going to return, in this case, a unit. So it returns nothing. This is what we call container function. As you can see, it's a function we're passing here, annotated at composable, returns nothing. We pass nothing also, which will allow us then to call my app and pass any composable we want. So just since we're here, I'm going to just take all of this inside of our set content and put inside there. And for now, I'm just going to get rid of this entirely, as well as that, as well as everything inside here. Let's just get rid of all of this. And so inside here, we're just going to call content as such. So somewhere else, I can create another function, composable function, say composable, and then I'm going to say fun, and say let's just say main content as such. And then we can also pass some, and then here I can just say text, for instance, that says hello. And now we have our content there, so I can literally call my app as such and pass the content. The content I want to pass is this in this case. So let's say main content as such. And we can do the same thing, so we can have a default preview here. Let's get rid of all that. Just call my app, say main content. All right. If we split back here and refresh, hopefully we're going to see the same thing. Let's get rid of all of this. We don't need that. And hello, it's showing there. So nothing really out of this world, but we can see everything is good. So since we're inside of main content, I can actually pass a surface as we had before, get all of that, just the text, put inside there, and say background color, or color in this case. I'm going to say material theme dot color, and I'm going to get background color like that. So this is what we had before, and I can get rid of all that import because we don't need that. Okay, let's go ahead and refresh again. All right, so we don't see a lot of difference, but there we go. We can now create the sizes for our surface and whatever we want. So now that we have a simple structure of the project, we can start playing with a few concepts. So Android applications, they tend to have a certain look that is advisable by Google that allows us to create more or less uniform user interfaces. So I'm talking about material design. Material design is a new paradigm, UI, or a user interface design that allows us to create a very clean structure. There is this one structure called Scaffold, which is part of material design layout, which implements the basic material design visual layout structure. So what is a scaffold? So scaffold, let's go back to our my app here. I'm going to show you real quick. So inside of my app, which has been called inside of a set content, which means we will have this trailing lambda there, and we can pass any other function, composable function that will create a user interface. Okay. So inside here, I'm going to get rid of this content for now. So inside of the material app theme, I'm going to say something like this. Let's write as such. You can see we have this function. If you hover over and scroll up, you can see it's a scaffold composable function. We can pass modifier and all sort of things. So let's click like that, and we have, and you see we can pass, and you see we have our lambda there. Let's pass a few parameters. Again, if you hover over, you can see the scaffold. We pass modifier, scaffold state, we have top bar, we have a lot of parameters or arguments in this case that we can pass. Let's start with a few. The first one, let's hover over again, we're gonna pass the top bar. Okay, if I say top bar as such, notice that it accepts a lambda as well. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put a lambda as such. So what happens inside of a top bar? Well, so inside here, So inside of our top bar, we can pass another function, another composable function that it's provided to us. So it's called the top bar or top app bar. All right. As the name implies, this allows us to create a top. It says here, material design top app bar. The top app bar displays information and actions related to the current screen. Very handy. We don't have to do all of that from scratch. So in our top app bar, we can pass a few parameters, right? So if I go over, we can pass modifier, what's new, background color, content color, and of course we can pass contents of this top bar as well. Okay, very handy. So I'm going to start with background color. I'm going to say colors. Let's use magenta for now. And let's pass something else here. Let's say elevation. Let's say 5.dp. Let's import dp. And inside of this top bar, for now, I'm just going to go ahead and just pass a text. Let's say movies. Like that. Let's go ahead and refresh. And you can see we have this nice top bar that we were given for free, pretty much. I can go ahead and pass content. However, because we know content, if you have over scaffold, we know that scaffold content argument here is the last, it's the last parameter, and it's a composable. That means it's also can be also called as such. Okay. So here I can just go ahead and say content, whatever we are passing, through our my app compose, which of course has been called here. And we are passing my content, which is all of this. Not much, but that. So now if I refresh this, we can see we have hello, which is inside of our very nice scaffold there. Now scaffold is really important. As you see, it gives us the structure, the skeleton that we need to start building material design focused app. And if you hover over again, this is really important whenever in doubt, you will notice that there are a lot of things we can pass as arguments. We can pass content color, background color, drawer. We can pass the drawer background color, drawer shape, and so many other things. Most importantly, you can also pass floating actions buttons. These are the buttons that you can see, as the name implies. We can pass them around here usually. Let's see. So it's usually a circle. We can of course change the shape, but it's usually a circle you'll see, and it's floating, meaning it's at the top of the view. So a lot of things we can do here. But at least so far you can see that we have this structure that allows us to have a skeleton where we can put together the application.